We're rolling. Yes. Hi, I'm Koki Barini. Thank you so much for joining us for our very first episode of Quiet the Noise. There's a lot of noise out there in the marketplace, and this week, and this year notwithstanding, it's so true. Market's off, gosh, almost 10% year to date. Not fun. However, what it does give is a huge breeding ground for tons of noise in the marketplace. Online, on your computers, in your emails, on the nightly news, lots of noise. So, what investors often ask me is what's noise and what's not noise. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We plan on doing this every other week, so we'd love your feedback. You can go to hashtag, can't say that, will you edit it? We'd love your feedback, so please go to our Twitter, I can't say that either. Go to, how do I say that?
Go to our Twitter handle @GoAlpha.
@GoAlpha, sorry.
And then hashtag Quiet the Noise.
Yes. We would love your feedback. Our Twitter handle is @GoAlpha, GoAlpha, GoAlpha. And give us a hashtag Quiet the Noise and give us your feedback. Send us questions like, is this noise or is this not noise? Because we'd love to help you. You may have seen my ebook called The Liberated Investor, liberatedinvestors.com. Really one of the biggest things we love to preach in there is to quiet the noise, because we know that if you bring emotion into investing, it's not going to be a good mix. So thank you for tuning in. We do want to keep this brief so that we can keep your interest. And I want to kick it off with this week's Noise Maker winner. Yes, in fact, we're going to call somebody out every vlog, and we're going to talk about who we really think is out there making the most noise. So I have to do something kind of silly, but here we go. I have to put on my helmet. This is my climbing helmet. So some of you may know that I'm an alpine climber. I'm not going to buckle it. That's going to be even more crazy. But I'm going to wear it because this is for safety. So when I bring out Quiet the Noise, I want to make sure that as I sling mud, maybe if rocks come back at me, that I'm protected. So I've got my climbing helmet on. I did just get back from Kilimanjaro. Really, this helmet wasn't quite required, but it may be for today's vlog as I call out Harry Dent. Yes, Harry, you are my very first vlog's winner of our Noisemaker. Harry Dent, most of you may know, or you may not, Harvard-educated economist, really good-looking guy, and he's also from my homegrown state, South Carolina. So Harry, all that does go out to you. However, again, you're a noisemaker. Why? Harry has written many books, really widely and well written. However, the problem is he tends to get it wrong, and he tends to call it really big. Like right now, for example, Harry's calling for Dow 6000. Dow 6000. For those of you who don't know, the Dow's at 16,000. Yes, even after this correction this year, the Dow is hovering at about 16,000. You know, Harry really had my heart back in the late 90s when I got in the business. I want to say in 1998 he came out with The Roaring 2000s, one of his, maybe one of his first bestsellers. And actually in that book, I think he called for the Dow going to 35,000. Well, he wasn't right there either. Dow 35,000. We've barely seen 20, so he got that one wrong. Not long after, in fact, shortly after we all rebounded from the recession of '08, in about 2010 or 2011, Harry called for, yet again, another huge Dow sell-off. He said the Dow is going to 3,000, something ridiculous. Sell your assets, sell your accounts. Well, consequently, if you listen to Harry, or if you listen to the noise, you would have missed at least a 50% increase in the S&P 500. I mean, what investor can afford to miss 50% up in the stock market? I hope none of you, really. So Harry's gotten it many times wrong. And, I know this time he's wrong as well. But nonetheless, he for sure gets our noisemaker. Look him up, don't look him up. Honestly, you need to know that you get information about Harry Dent, or you get any information from anyone saying the Dow is going to sell off 70%. And it's just a little too dramatic to take notice of. So we always call those dramatic posts or dramatic sound bites noise. So now I need to give you the not so noise. I'm going to be in protection mode, so I'm going to take off my climbing helmet. The not so noise. Not so noise, we like to focus on facts or our asset scale. I know my clients are cringing because they know this asset scale, but you may not. So give me a moment here while I explain. Our not so noise are the facts that keep us grounded and keep emotion out of the equation. So when we hear the Harry Dent, we can come back to this and go, well, where are we really? Well, the asset scale is a factual depiction of the performance and how certain asset classes, the 6 most widely traded asset classes, how they're trading on the stock market. So what do we have for asset classes? We have stocks, we have international stocks, we have bonds, we have cash. We actually treat cash as an asset class. Currencies, and our beloved, our poor beloved commodities is the last asset class we'll talk about. So without going too far into depth, what we want to share with you is this asset scale helps us with the risk on the field. Like, what is noise? Is it noise that Harry Dent is calling for a major market sell-off? Well, for him to call for Dow 16,000 to go down to 3,000, I absolutely say yes. However, let me bring some grounding to this. The asset scale, wouldn't you want to know who the number one trading asset class is? Of course you do. So right now, number one trading asset class, domestic stocks. Probably no shock to any of you. That's been the case for about 6.5 years. What's the number two trading asset class? Bonds. All right. So do we take any credence with this huge market sell-off and with the Harry Dents of the world out there clamoring and making tons of noise? Well, maybe. Why do we do that? Because with cash trading in the number 3 spot on the asset scale and bonds trading number 2, that lends itself to taking less risk in the stock market, say, than we did back in July, when international stocks were trading in the number 2 stock position, number 2 asset scale position rather. July, international stocks were up here in number 2, and since then have fallen to the number 6, or rather the number 5 traded asset class. So is this a model, or is this something we should take notice of? Is this not noise? This is not noise. This is something we do take notice of, and this is why. This is what our portfolios are comprised of right now. Right now we own lots of stocks, lots of cash, and lots of bonds. And this is what helps ground us for the risk on the field. So when Harry Dent starts talking about lots of noise and a huge market sell-off, yeah, we saw a 10% correction so far this year, but with stocks trading in the number 1 position on the asset scale, well, we still need to have our toe in that water. We still need to wade in that pool. But are we wading in it very cautiously? Yes, we are. Because with bonds and cash very close behind stocks on the asset scale, we're cautious. We're absolutely cautious. But are we Harry Dent selling off to Dow? I'm sorry, I think he's going for 6,000, not 3,000. Are we Harry Dent calling for 6,000? No. Are we cautious? Yes. So I hope this helped a little bit ground in what we're trying to show you with there's media bites out there that are noise, or there's a position you can take that's grounded in pure performance of how things are performing in the market. Not subjective, not opinionated, not this is what Koki thinks. This is pure performance of these asset scales, and this drives how our portfolios are constructed. So I know that was a quick baptism, if you will, on our asset scale. You'll hear a lot more about this. I do hope that you'll, again, send us your questions. Again, our Twitter account is @GoAlpha, and include the hashtag #QuietTheNoise, and we'd love your feedback. Without your feedback, we can't make this post more important for you. So tune in next week for next week's noise maker winner, and I'll put on the climate helmet once again, and we'll go back at it to try and expose who we think are confusing investors out there, as opposed to who we think are giving you valuable sound bites. For now, just remember liberatedinvestors.com and @GoAlpha. And just remember, we've got you managed. Thanks for tuning in.